Hello, welcome to Off the Shelf Reviews. It's Gaming Friday. I'm Gary,
And I'm in control of the joypad today.
and we are taking a look at Sweet Home, which came out on the 15th of December 1989, developed and published by Capcom, released on the Nintendo Entertainment System, or as the NES,
The
as we
NES.
like to call it.
Yeah.
And I think, is this the first NES game we've looked at on Gaming Friday?
I believe so.
And well, it's a pretty good one to pick up. This is a game I've never played, never even really saw until a few months back when we were starting to look at the Resident Evils, and you had already well aware of this game, Ian.
Yeah, I'd obviously making the notes about all the Resident Evils and all the Resident Evil games. This kept coming up, and I was just like, "Oh, it's on the Nintendo. You know, I've got my arcade. I'll just have a look to see if it's there." And yeah, and based on a Japanese movie from the 1980s.
From 1989 as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's a good example of games into films, or films into games. Sorry,
Definitely.
Wesker F. Yeah, I'll just leave it like that.
So this is a role-playing survival horror game inspired by Sweet Home. Like I said, the Japanese film which came out. I think the game came out in January. Oh, sorry, the film came out in January, and then the game came out in December.
Yeah,
So it was. The game was also released exclusively in Japan. It wasn't released anywhere
it wasn't
else.
released anywhere else.
It wasn't localized in any other country, and do you know why? Because as a Nintendo game, this
Yeah.
game includes what was considered brutal and horrific imagery.
Yes.
That was just not going to be seen outside of Japan.
Yeah,
Because they knew that, Nintendo of America and Europe was just like, no, you can't have this on a family console.
This is the thing that makes me laugh when people say that. They go, "Oh, Nintendo, they don't make violent games. They don't make adult games." This is 1989,
Yeah.
and they've released a bloody gory game.
Yeah.
And it counters also the argument when we say, like, well, why did they re-release Resident Evil the remake on the GameCube?
Yeah.
And it's because the creator of Resident Evil, his first outing was on the Nintendo.
That's right. His name was Takura Fujiwara.
Right.
I'm terrible with Japanese names. I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course, he was the head honcho behind the bulk of the Resident Evils, and but he also did Ghosts and Goblins.
Ooh, nice.
Don't always remember that one.
Yeah.
And he was told by the film's director not to worry if the game didn't follow the movie's plot exactly.
Okay.
Have you ever seen the film, Ian?
No, I've wanted to, though. I kind of want to review it as well.
It looks really crazy.
Yeah.
Very messed up. And while making the game, all of the frustrations that he had with this game simply came from the graphics. Yet he remained, while he was making this game, he remained confident that the horror genre could exist in video game form.
Nice.
And this is where the groundwork was really laid for everything that would be Resident Evil. You can see it, I've had a quick look at the game, and just each character, you've named them all after Resident Evil characters.
Yeah.
But I can see that one of them has a lighter,
Yes.
and one of them has a key, which I can imagine is a lockpick.
Yeah. They've all got their own unique items. The guy I'm playing at the moment, Wesker, he's got a Hoover to hoover up any debris on the floor that you need to get past. I've named Jill. She's got the special key to unlock as many doors as she can in
master
the
of unlocking.
mansion. Yeah. Rebecca is the nurse. She can heal people up of poison effects and heal them out of combat.
Yeah.
And then my Barry character, he carries a camera that you have to use to take pictures of frescoes to solve the puzzle of the mansion. And this place is massive. I mean, it kind of makes the Resident Evil mansion look tiny.
Right, yeah.
This is only the first lobby. So I've got to go get Chris. This is the thing as well. You will see me chop and change between a lot of the characters.
So yeah, you have all 5 characters to control from the get-go.
Yes, and you can control them all individually, but you're better off partying them up with people so that when you get into combat, which is much like Final Fantasy style, you're not left on your own and fighting a boss which you have no way to fight.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start arming him.
So I take it each character can be armed with 1 weapon, and is it 2 items?
Yeah, they've got space. So that's their special equipment. Chris has got the lighter, Rebecca with the health kit.
Can
Barry
you
with the
swap
camera.
those items?
I don't think so. I think while they're carrying it, you cannot change the items to other people because obviously that's their special skill.
Yeah.
But when the character if the character does die during the game, their item will be dropped. You can then pick it up, and I think it's a one-use use, and you have to return to pick it up.
Yeah. Okay.
So Chris has just got the candle. I need to go get
So
Jill.
the story of this game, again, very similar-ish to the film. And again, if you're not aware of the story, it expands on the film's plot, and it's 5 film students
Yeah.
making a documentary, and they're investigating this house before they realize they get trapped in it. The house is haunted, and the house is also falling apart.
Yes.
And we saw the ghost at the beginning, and she was the mother of a son who died at the age of 2.
Yeah.
And so she then went on a killing spree, killing children.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that her 2-year-old dead son's spirit would have other
Children
children's
to play
spirits
with,
to play
yeah.
with before she committed suicide, and now haunts this mansion.
Yeah.
But she was also an artist, or her husband was an artist.
I think her husband was an artist, and he's left clues in all of his pictures so that you can solve the mystery. Because all that information you solve
as the game goes
As the
on.
game
Yes.
goes on.
Yeah, you very like Resident Evil, where you find documents or file notes hidden around.
Yeah, like one that I've got on the floor now, so I can read a note. Kenji, the frescoes contain clues, or is that elves? I can't really read that. I think they're grouped by date. Now, I've played this game like 3 or 4 times in my practice run of this. I haven't really got that far to solve all the puzzles and find
Okay.
out where I'm going. I usually turn it off. You see that little blue sprite there going past?
Yeah.
Whoa!
Oh, then another one.
I've just
And-
entered combat as well. So the combat is random, much
Yeah.
like Final Fantasy, and those little blue objects flying down the corridor, if they hit you, they will hit one random character and send them flying into another random part of the house.
Right.
And so now that one person is on his or her own, and you have to then try and get them back to the group and avoid combat as much as you can.
Yeah.
So I'm fighting this Will-o'-the-Wisp at the moment. I'm not very armed up, so I'm just attacking. I will check them. Oh, killed it now. So
Yeah. You gain 2 experience for killing it, but I can see that the creature is still flying across the screen.
Yes. Well, that's a blue spirit. That will
Okay, so
fly off.
you're not actually engaging that in combat.
No. The combat is just randomly all over the floor. These here are pieces of wood. Now you can use the wood to put over the holes in the floor.
Okay, that's how very obscure.
Yes, but you only have like 5 steps on a normal piece of wood.
And then what?
And then it will fall away, and you have to quickly get one of your teammates to grab the other person and team up with them before they fall into the chasm and die.
Now, I can already see problems with the game just
Right.
from that.
Okay.
Now, you pick up a piece of wood, you put it in a hole, you got to get to the other side. You don't get to the other side, game over.
Yes.
But the game won't game over, will it? The game will just keep letting you play and play and
game,
play.
the game will let you just stay there, and you'll realise that you're stuck now.
Yeah.
And you will try and obviously level up, and you'll have to restart the game
Yes.
and remember what you've picked up to try and help you through.
I can see that being really irritating already. Just there only being a finite amount of wood and certain key items that you need.
But-
Otherwise,
This is where you have to, like, I just picked up a piece of wood which I put on Barry, which is a blue piece of wood, and it's infinite.
but,
So I can.
but it just says wood.
It does, and so this through repetition of playing the game, you have to remember who you've given what
Right.
to put where, and then obviously keep using that over and over again so that you can keep your characters alive.
Yeah. Now, you've also said that you can only step on it like up to 5 times. Is
Yes.
that for each character or just one character? Because you've got a
it's
trail
one-
behind you.
I think it's one character for each, so it's like 1, 2, 3 if you've got three in the group, and then am I in
and
combat?
then 4, 5, 6 coming
Then
back.
4, 5, 6 coming back. So that's why you got to use the infinite. Now I'll show the combat menu as well. Now you've got worms. And
Excuse me?
you've got worms in the game, and there's all these other different types of creatures. You've got bats, evil dolls, will-o'-the-wisps, and you get told that your items can defeat them. So with worms, fireworks.
Okay.
So using Chris's lighter will help damage that. I can't.
So obviously it doesn't tell you immediately what's just happened. You line up all your attacks and then it plays out.
and then it plays out. So I've got attack. I can go into my tools and use the different items I've picked up. I can call other members of the group to come into the battle sequence if they've got a better weapon.
Right.
I can use my prey ability, which is kind of like magic.
Like a super of some kind? Or?
Yeah, you use a certain amount of magic points and then you'll do certain damage onto them. And obviously different characters have better magic skills.
Right.
And then you can also run from combat. But everybody has to agree.
Yeah.
3 people in combat, 2 of them decide to run off. 1 person has to stand there and either has to kill it or...
Can't they just choose to run after that?
Yeah, they can choose, but obviously...
Somebody got poisoned.
Yes, so I think Rebecca just got poisoned, so somebody's going to have to use her health kit in a minute to defeat her. But it doesn't actually say. So some of the neglectful things they did in this game was not telling you...
When you're poisoned?
Yeah, or telling you how far you've got to level up. You just gain experience and you just keep leveling
you
up.
Don't actually... There's no choosing of leveling up skills or anything.
No,
it's just a
you
case
just
of...
get tougher, more health.
Right.
You can use damage... weapons better. Right, okay, right. Rebecca, we need to...
You can tell now that she's poisoned, I guess, because she's blinking.
Yes, so I need to use that. Use the Chris is now using Rebecca's medikit on Rebecca.
Right.
Rebecca is cured now, and he hasn't had to remove it. So we need to take that piece of wood back.
So how is the whole moving around the infantry system? How does it feel?
It's really good as long as you're practicing. You know, like they've got...
Because it looks like a lot of move this, grab that, change that, exchange that.
Put it into items and stuff. Much like Resident Evil.
Yeah.
You know, you see objects
you
on
don't
the
have
floor.
a loot box where you put everything in it.
Yeah, none of these characters... you don't have a loot box to contain certain items. And if people die, you lose those spaces.
Right.
So now you've got to you've got to manage all the other people to... Hopefully,
so your main aim then is obviously to keep every one of these characters alive to the end.
That is your main aim, and random things can happen. Like I can keep getting into fights and leveling up. Now there's only 21 levels.
Okay.
So once I've reached level 21 for all 3 of them, and the game
all 5 of them,
all 5 of them, that's it. But the game won't tell me what level I am at.
Okay.
So I've got to kind of mentally remind myself, right, I've leveled
can't
up
level up anymore.
8 or 9 times up to this point. So that was only the first 2 rooms.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah,
That was only the first 2 rooms, and I had to take on all
now,
that.
how big is this mansion? Do you ever leave them? I guess the whole game is within the mansion.
Yeah, there's the whole mansion. I think there's a basement. There's a river nearby that you have to go to as well. I'm going to go up and talk to this zombie. Because these are the horrific imagery that kids would have seen.
Okay.
A bloodied corpse on the floor. So.
Well, I believe there's also, sort of the game over screens or the monsters sort of killing you or having death animations for the characters.
You do have death animations.
I mean, just like that one there, for instance.
Yeah, that's your typical normal zombie attacks. And he's telling me now that my tools are weapons and fire for bugs, light for bats. So you've got to mentally remember that as well.
Yeah.
But so, for example, if an enemy damages a character past his health, they'll just melt and die.
Yes.
Right there in the middle of the floor. Objects will fall from the sky as well. It's like quick time events in a Nintendo game, and you've got to quickly work out which way to dodge out of the way. I should have given that candle to somebody else, Chris.
Because, he's got the lighter and the candle
He's got the lighter and the candle, so hopefully does enough damage.
Yeah, because... Barry's actually quite strong compared to Rebecca, doing 6 damage over her 1.
Yeah, the men are surprisingly a lot stronger than the women, but the women have more magical points and can heal people.
Yeah.
So they've got all the good equipment. Ooh, axe. I think I'll grab that. And I will swap it for Chris's knife.
Should swap out his wax as well.
Yeah, I got to change. Give the wax to... Oh, I didn't want to do that. Got to remember all the different buttons. Move over to Barry. There we go. Gave Waxy. Now, can we exchange that fruit and rune switch? There we go.
What is it? Is it a fruit knife?
Yeah, I think that obviously silver is like a letter opener. The fruit knife is like a kitchen blade that you can use, and then big axes.
And now you've just picked up a battle axe.
Yeah. You just grab whatever you need. You've seen all these evil dolls flying at you. Yeah, fuck you, evil doll. Get out of my face.
Yeah, chop that one right up now.
Now, the thing that I find as well with going back to the movement is they're kind of like a snake formation.
Well, definitely, yeah. They're just kind of trailing behind you.
Yeah, so if you've played Snake a lot, you can work out where everyone's got to go.
Well, it does just have this old school feel of old Final Fantasy games or old Japanese RPG games.
Yeah.
And I kind of really like the art style, the pixels. I can see where the complaints would have come from the developer looking at the graphical limitations.
Yeah.
Especially in terms of there's no real combat, it's just the enemy on screen and a bunch of text boxes.
Yes, yeah. But that's the old school RPG elements,
Yeah.
You love that kind of stuff. I love the fact, I haven't got the Hoover, I'll have to go back and get the guy with the Hoover. There's no save room.
There's no save room. Well, I just saw then on the menu there was a save option.
There is a save option. You can save anywhere you want at any time. So I'll just save my game there. And then I can continue. Now, if I turn obviously off the NES or whatever I'm playing on, when I go back to the start menu and press start, it will spawn me right there.
Yeah.
With all my stuff, and I'll be whatever health I was at that point. To start a whole new game, you have to go into that menu and go to quit and then restart.
Right.
And it will delete your whole save.
Okay.
So if you mess up, then you'll have to go through that process to start the game again to remember where everything is.
Right.
I need somebody else because this guy's kicking my butt. So I'm gonna call in. I'll call in Chris.
So who did you swap out?
Joe's just called in Chris. Team up. Oh no. Chris joined. Right. So now Chris is in combat now. He's just walked over. Rebecca's taking loads of damage. She's gonna attack. Wesker's gonna attack, and then Chris will attack with his battle axe. And now.
What? Do they all get to attack?
That must be 5. They must be so close. All 5 of them are able to
that's
attack
really
each other.
cool.
So okay guys, we just defeated them all, yes.
I take it then for like the end boss, only 3 of the characters could fight it? Because I don't know how you would get them all into the same room unless you did the...
Yeah, well, I think at certain points, you would... Like with this room here, I've just moved Chris up. And then hit back to Jill, move Jill up. So now if this was the boss room, I could move in there, start the fight, and then call to Chris to come in. And then Chris would obviously come in and start fighting with me. Yeah. And then I'd have all 5 of them there, which is the best bet to replenish your health. Yeah. You can use the tonics outside of combat, but it only heals one person at a time.
Right.
Where if you're all in combat, it heals everybody. So Jill, you need a knife.
Well, I have to say, I'm quite enjoying the game's music score. It's suitably eerie,
yes,
and on a level of what I would expect from this sort of game. It's really quite creepy, and it's 16-bit kind of way.
Yeah, it does have a way of it does grind me after a while, where I'll get into combat. It does the combat music, and then in combat, kill that monster.
Back to the house music,
and then it comes back to the house music, and then it keeps going back and forth doing that. And if you can get past that, you'll be having such a fun time because you just be like, oh crap, I'm in combat again. I don't want to be in combat. I need to go get that health and all those little things. But it's those little touches that remind me of Resident Evil.
Definitely. Definitely.
The use of these items.
It's the fact that this mansion is a puzzle box.
Yes.
The fact that there are items scattered everywhere and you don't really know that you have to use the vacuum cleaner on the fresco to get the dust off so that you can take a picture of it so that you can get the clue.
That's it. I've just remembered I've got to use the guy to do that. Well, actually, I've got to take the picture. But the first room I got stuck in.
Yes.
That very first room after the ghost appears, I was stood there on my first play and I'm just like, what am I doing? How do I get out of here? Why can't I walk past this glass or get past these boulders? Right. So I had to go online. Yeah. And then read that I have to use the vacuum cleaner. Yeah. And I'm like, you bastard! Right, Ian, remember, they've all got their own special items. Yeah. You've got to keep all of them alive. Don't get hung up on one character. No. Chris is strong. He's got the lighter. He's quite versatile. Yeah. But he's no good without the healer. Right. And she's no good without the other strong male character to protect her, and the other guys have got the key. Oh, right, here comes one of the quick time events. Left, dodge out the way. Chris dove. And Chris escaped. The way that light was coming down, it's majorly in the middle of the screen. Okay. So either left or right would have
been fine.
Ducking would have hurt me, and if I hadn't done anything, I would have just got hit by it anyway.
Prayed that it just kind of fell a different way.
Oh no, I wanted to look. Sorry. But if other objects, they'll come down on the left, other objects come from the right, chairs will come flying across from you from across the room. So it's all looking at the picture and working out quickly how to get past.
Yeah.
So and then you got all
So the
these
third fresco's upstairs.
all these clues telling you to go places. I'm just like, what are these statues? Why are these statues here? What am I going to do with these statues later on? Well, I suppose I'll go search the rest of the mansion and find it.
See what other horrors unfold.
So I've got 2 doors here. So I need
Yeah.
the girl with the key. I've just gone into combat as well again.
Obviously, yeah, you can't see the enemies. They just randomly. It seems quite frequent. The monsters pop up.
yes.
And obviously, you can't clear out an area.
No.
Like Resident Evil, the enemies just keep coming back.
And that's what I mean. It's like one of the safe rooms. I went into a room thinking it was fine. And then this zombie attacked me inside the room. So I killed
Right.
it. And then I went into the room and I was getting all the different items in there. And the zombie just kept attacking me. And I'm just like, for fuck's sake, why can't I just get rid of the zombie? And I realised, it's because the game hasn't got any safe rooms.
No.
You're just going to have to keep fighting the zombie until you leave.
Until you, move on.
Good way to level up, though, as well.
True, yeah.
I don't like this room.
Especially considering you have infinite med kits, so you don't need to go around the house to find extra ones.
Well, infinite up to the point of protecting the healer.
Yeah, but as long as she
know.
survives each fight, you're
Yes.
totally fine.
Yeah, and you
Probably should heal some Rebecca up a little bit.
Yeah,
Maybe Jill as well.
I should do. I just killed it though.
Yeah. But now that you're tooled up, you're sort of blazing through a lot of these enemies.
I might change that. Oak and oak. Oh, it's the same spear.
Is there certain enemy weaknesses to certain weapons, like the silver or wood or?
Yeah, I mean, the bigger creatures you come across later on, they have obviously weakness to the more dangerous weapons. So you've got to keep replenishing your people's weapons, but reminding yourself that, like, the medic won't carry the axe.
Right. Okay.
She'll only carry small blades.
Yeah.
While obviously the big guys can carry all the big weapons.
Yeah.
But then if you have all the big guys with big weapons, they're over the right side of the mansion while everyone else is over the left.
Yeah.
Getting separated.
I can see that being a problem, having the two parties and having to need to get them all together.
Yeah. Oh, geez. Go back.
It was a lot bigger than the other ones.
I want to go in that room, but I'm not going to.
So who's your ideal sort of party to take?
It's the healer, Kazuo or Chris with the lighter, and then the guy. The plank's fallen away.
And he's trapped on the other side. Can
Can
you help him?
I can. Should we team up? Yes. I can quickly team up with him and save him, and now I've saved him. But now that plank's fallen,
And that piece of wood is forever lost.
all forever lost.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to go back there, I need more planks. And I don't
And now
think
you're
I've
being
got
attacked on the other side.
fire. No, I've got no fire. So no.
No, you can't vacuum the worms either.
One damage.
Oh.
This
Well,
is
you
gonna
only
be a
did
long
one
fight.
damage back.
But if he poisons me, I might just use the prey effect. So see, 0 to
Okay.
4. I'll go
So-
with 4 points
Yeah.
there. And he's only got 15 as well, so 4 points.
Okay.
So they did
They
quite
did a
bit
lot more damage
there.
then, compared to
But then obviously it does go down, so you don't want to be using
only
it
one
too
damage,
much.
one damage. Well, they're defeated now. And
they
they've
both
leveled up.
Yes, so let's
So that satisfying piece of music, that little note just to let you...
just to tell you that, yeah, you've leveled up now.
It's the
okay.
reward sound effect.
And the old school door opening.
Hey, how very, very Resident Evil.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
I'm not going in this room yet. I'm gonna come across it with these guys, because I want to keep them together just in case something happens. So we'll switch back to Chris.
Yeah.
And we'll go back into this room. I might allow myself to get hit by one.
Enrique,
of these.
is that you?
Okay, so there's boulders there. We need some way to get
We need
past the boulder.
a mallet, was it?
That was one of the clues, I think.
I think
from
it
the,
was.
from the skeleton. Can I talk to the corpse? Rune weapon prevents fear and curses. I've got
so
one of
you do
them.
have one of them.
So right.
So if somebody's suffering from a curse, you could just pass them that weapon, and then they get
Yeah,
rid of the curse?
I think
Unless-
it's just majorly using it in combat. So if I'm
Okay.
fighting a monster that
Is
uses
cursed.
uses curse, then using the rune weapons will stop him from doing that.
Yeah.
So I've unlocked that door. We'll go in there in a second. Oh, combat again! It's always the weaker characters that get into combat, and you're just
Right. You're just trying to catch the party up.
Yeah.
It's a little bit annoying that you can't just trail all 5 of them, but then that does make sense.
Jill ran, Wesker ran. So I just ran from combat right there. They both agreed to do that.
Yeah.
It's suspenseful. You know, you don't want to go into the rooms.
Well,
because you're afraid of what's in there.
Yeah.
Right. So that door is fully locked. I need a special key for that. But you have to. You want to get through the investigation. You want to complete the game.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, guys. Chris, you're going to lead the way into that room I just unlocked. So let's go in. Combat right in front of the door. Really?
There's something trying to stop you getting in. More worms.
More
Man,
worms.
This house has got serious worm problems.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to use my lighter. I'm gonna attack it, and then I'm
just incinerate
candles. So you worms are fucked anyway. And Rebecca beat the shit out of you anyway. She's a strong girl.
Okay.
Yeah, big dining hall.
Yeah. Well, we got bats.
We got bats.
Do they do actually damage to you? Do they go into combat?
You get into combat, and you've got to use your camera. I don't.
Well, you
know
actually saw the bats on the screen though. So will those bats still be there after the combat?
No, they'll disappear, but they'll keep respawning.
Okay. Righto. As
well, so you've got to at least try to minimise your time in a room because you don't want to keep getting into combat and using up all your health.
Yeah.
So
does combat occur even if you just stand still?
Yeah, if it hits you, yeah.
Okay.
When you're walking the corridors, no.
Okay.
Because you aren't randomly getting into anything, but the very next step you make...
Yeah, it'll be instant into combat.
It might be instant combat. So I only killed 1 bat then, so that second one's still running around.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take the wood.
Got wood.
Got wood. Run around here.
Is that another candle?
Oh, there's a chair coming at me. I'm going to dodge left.
How can you tell it was going to go right? I can't really...
Because it's in the middle of the screen.
Oh, okay.
It's flying at me in the middle of the screen.
Alright, so it would be on the left or the right, literally on the...
Yeah. If it was more on the left, I'd dodge more to the right.
Yeah.
Let's give Chris... We'll give Chris this candle as well. So now I'm starting to get filled up with items.
So it looks like the stairway's got broken glass all over it,
yeah.
which is gonna need the Hoover.
Barry can't. Oh, he can't take that. Okay, let's just kill this fucking bat because it's chasing me. Come here, Mr. Bat.
So it should go without saying that this game received a lot of high praise when it came out.
Really?
Some reviews when this game came out, they called it perfect.
Nice.
A perfect game. Phenomenal and great level design. Some people called this game a masterpiece, that it is masterfully well designed. And even recently, some people have listed this game in the top 10 Nintendo games of all time.
I would say it's definitely up there.
Yeah.
It's one of those games, my argument always is when people say, oh, Nintendo don't make adult line games.
Well, other than some of the Castlevania games, which I enjoyed.
Yeah, but they're still kind of kiddish.
They're still action, fantasy, adventure-y.
I'm getting away from that.
Not an actual horror. This thing
is kicking my ass. But it's the fact that this is an adult game. You know, it's based on a horror movie that kids shouldn't have been watching. It's got lots of horror elements. I'm getting my ass kicked. Get out of combat. And
Wesker's getting screwed.
Yeah, and the fact that, like we said, they would go on then remake Resident Evil for the GameCube.
Yeah.
Another big adult-based game. So, I would say never just underestimate Nintendo. They have a tendency of releasing surprises.
Yeah.
And this is one of them. It's very difficult. You have to play this game 3 or 4 times to really understand,
to get into the flow and the rhythm of the actual what the game maker designed the game to be like.
Yeah, and where you're supposed to go, who you're supposed to use. Oh, that zombie! Why did you abandon me? This would give you nightmares. Imagine 8 years old, you've just taken Mario out of your game. You go, oh, go play Sweet Home, yeah.
Home Sweet Home.
Home
oh my
Sweet
God.
Home, yeah.
So would you recommend the game, Ian?
I would. I'd recommend it to all Resident Evil fans, all survival horror fans, all nostalgic. Zombie, and I'm not going to be able to kill it, am I? Just if you love your horror games, it's one of them. It is hard.
It's a classic piece of history. This is the blueprint for what became Resident Evil.
Yeah.
To which pretty much became the benchmark of survival horror video games for consoles as we know it.
Yeah.
And this is really one of the starting points, really. You know.
You've got to get into it.
I don't know if I would go back and play.
Stunned.
I don't know if I could go back and play this game myself. I kind of appreciate it. I'm enjoying watching you play it.
Yeah.
But I don't know whether I would be too fussed about actually picking it up and playing it all the way through myself.
I would say for you, it'd be like playing Dark Souls all over again on a Nintendo, because you have to be prepared to die.
Yeah.
It's going to happen, and then you may have to restart. This zombie is kicking my
It looks
ass.
like he's about to drop a door on Wesker.
The Wesker is about to get the door dropped. But that's the nostalgic of it, to be able to say I completed that game. It was hard. It's one of the toughest games out there, and I did it. I'm going to actually see if Wesker will die in this combat.
It looks like his next hit should finish him if he hits him again.
It depends on if the zombie will.
Chris
Took 18 damage then. Come on, one of you's going to get it. Zombie, I don't know. They're all armed up. They should be kicking his ass.
Oh,
Wesker's dead.
Oh, he dropped the door on his head.
But he might come back mutated, try to help us. No. It's weird Wesker got killed by a zombie in Sweet Home based on the creator of Resident Evil. Yeah. Jill's taking damage now. Jill's gonna die. If they all die by one zombie, this would be brilliant.
What are you doing? Have they just not got the weapons?
They don't. I don't think they've got the weapons. I could use Prey to really just quickly do it, but I'm just using the weapons they've all got. They've all got axes and runes and swords, and look how much damage he's doing compared to the rest
your
of
weapons.
them.
I mean, but the zombie's missing his legs as well by the looks of things.
I know. I think I've hit him with at least 30 to 50 damage anyway. Come on.
Oh!
Rebecca's dead now. Barry is stunned. I've lost my healer. Come on, guys, kill him off, please. Chris is taking that. Right. Praying. Jill's praying. She spent pray points. Chris is praying.
Oh yeah, I can see they got to 40 in points now.
Oh, Barry took 1 damage.
Well, he only does 1 damage now. What?
Come on, Jill attack. They're not doing enough
He's only
damage.
doing 3 damage now.
Okay, right. I could use the tonic and heal. Yes, I should have used that just a minute ago, but I didn't expect this fucking zombie.
One zombie just to do this much damage.
I can take a picture of it. See if I can.
The camera used no effect.
No, Jill to 24. Die, motherfucking
To
zombie.
get some armor, something.
Yeah, I need a shotgun. Where's my shotgun?
There's no way of knowing how much health it's got left either.
No.
So.
It should not be. I swear to God, it should not be taking this much damage. Unless it's the weapons. It must be the rune weapons I picked up that are obviously magical based, are not as strong
against
as a normal axe against fucking. Finally,
Damn.
17 experience from.
Is that
him.
going to level you up? Yeah.
That's going to level everybody up.
Who's still alive.
Oh, there's one death sequence for Rebecca.
Where's Wesker?
Boom! There's Wesker.
Or
Wesker died. Rebecca died. Wesker died. And
everyone carries on as normal.
Nobody's there. No. Okay, we need to team up with Chris. So Chris, Jill, and Barry. Are all still alive. And Rebecca and Wesker are completely dead in the middle.
And they're going to leave them to be fed to that mouse.
To that mouse. Oh.
The blue mouse.
Take this big
Well, that's going to bring this
sword.
episode to an end. This is a fascinating insight. I've got to admit, considering I've never seen this game before, I'm kind of in awe, to see the origins of one of my favourite franchises.
Yeah.
But with that, I just want to say thanks for watching, everyone. We'll be back next Friday looking at another video game. Of course, film reviews on Thursdays. You can find us on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Patreon. Take it easy, everyone. See you next time.
See you next time. I'm stuck. I can't get past this dead bodies back there.